Hello everyone, so today I am here to do I guess biannual, once a semester book haul, my back to school book haul, just showing you guys everything that I had to buy this semester. Again, I've been doing this for the past couple of years, basically since I became an English major. I just show you guys the books that I had to buy for class. Some people are interested in this, some people aren't, so you know. I still do it though because I think this is fun. So yeah, it's just gonna be a book haul. Gonna just be telling you guys about these books, what class they're for, that kind of thing. So yeah, let's just get right on into it. So I'm going to start with the class I have the least amount of books for, and that is my just generally graduate studies class. It's just basically a class that we learn kind of what it entails to be in grad school, and we learn like skills for writing and reading and stuff, so we can do better in other classes. But yeah, this is kind of centered around Indigenous Native American studies at the moment. I'm pretty sure it kind of continues throughout the whole thing because our professor is like a Native American Indigenous like scholar, so that's kind of her focus. So yeah, we had to buy 3 books for this class, and the first one is Donlan Voices, an anthology of Indigenous writing from New England. This is just a giant anthology. We already actually read this one, and it just has a ton of writing from Indigenous people and essays and history and like everything you can kind of think of in this one anthology. Obviously, we've used this a lot in the past couple of weeks. And then one that we have not used at all yet is Good Kings, Bad Kings by Susan Nussbaum. I don't even know what this is about. I'm kind of assuming it's about Indigenous stuff. Actually, no, this is about, yeah, we have a second kind of subject that we're doing, which is disabilities in literature. So this is actually about an institution for juveniles with disabilities. Good Kings, Bad Kings challenges our definitions of what it means to be disabled in a story told with remarkable authenticity and voices that resound humor and spirit. So actually, I'm very interested in that because I always like disability rep in my books. So yeah, this is the next one we're reading. And then we just have a little tiny thing, which is Nature Poem by Tommy Pico. Don't know what this is. It's just a tiny little like 80-page. Oh, it's a collection of poems? Yeah, it's like a collection of poems. I know that she really likes like queer authors of color. Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna be doing this one to focus on that kind of stuff. So there you go. Alright, and I'm just gonna keep with the theme of the least amount of books, I guess. So this class is my post-colonialism class, which if you guys are real Kate stans, you will know that I took a post-colonialism class in my undergrad last semester in spring semester. We're doing very different books from that class, but it's been cool so far. So the first one I have here is Amitav Ghosh's The Calcutta Chromosome, and this is all about insects and parasites and malaria, however you say that, in India, and kind of trying to figure out what is the cause of this. Yeah, this was written back in the a time that we barely knew anything about it, and yeah, so I have to do a project on this one. So. And then I have 2 Coetzee books, J.M. Coetzee. I have The Lives of Animals and Disgrace, which is his, I'd say most famous novel. I read Waiting for the Barbarians by him, which I loved last semester, so I'm really, really hoping I enjoy these 2. Yeah, so this is actually technically from another book that they just, took and made its own thing, and then this one, I really don't know what it's about, but again, it's Coetzee, so I'm interested. I know I'm saying that name wrong. Don't even try to correct me. Our professor last semester tried to get us all to say it correctly. We couldn't say it. I don't know how to say it, so yeah, these, very interested in them. That's all I got. And then the last book that we have is A Tiger Fell for Malgudi and the Man-Eater of Malgudi by R.K. Narayan. Yeah, we're doing animals in literature, if no one else noticed that trend with this class. We're doing post-colonialism, but animals. And now for this next class, we had to buy a lot of books because this is my adaptation literature class. So we had to basically buy a source text and then a ton of books that are adapting that text. So yeah, I'm gonna go with based on like what book we're talking about. Alright, so the first subject that I have is The Metamorphosis by Ovid. So we obviously have our source text, which is this very special annotated version that we had to get. I have obviously already done so much with this, if you can see all of that. Yeah, we've done a shit ton with this text so far. Yeah, so I've already read this. And then based on this book, we had to get 3 other things, which I've actually also already read all these. So we have The Metamorphosis by Mary Zimmerman, which is a play adapting metamorphosis into a play. Again, already read this, thought it was fine. I don't really like reading plays that much, which might sound weird considering my focus is Shakespeare. But we also have Eurydice by Sarah Ruhl, Oh, Samuel French Inc. I was like, who's Samuel French? This is obviously a retelling of Eurydice and Orpheus. I didn't really like this play at all, which sucks because I have to do a whole project on it. But yeah, I really didn't particularly like this adaptation, so there's that. And then I have the narrative poems by Shakespeare, which this has Venus and Adonis in it, which we're using because obviously Adonis and Venus are in Metamorphosis. I've also already read that one. So yeah, that's our first kind of subject, is Metamorphosis. And next up, the topic, I guess, is Othello by Shakespeare. So I had to get this really specific edition of 4 tragedies. Don't know why we're only doing Othello. But yeah, I've read Othello like 5 times. Getting a little sick of Othello, but it's fine. Reading Othello again. And then I have 2 plays again by people adapting things in Othello. We have Toni Morrison's Desdemona. Yep, this is a play. It's a story of Desdemona, reimagined by Toni Morrison. It's apparently an intimate dialogue of words and music between Desdemona and her African nurse Barbary. And she gives depth and voice to the female characters of Othello. There you go. And then I also have Harlem Duet by Jeanette Sears. This is a prelude to Shakespeare's Othello and recounts the tale of Othello and his first wife, Billy, who was before Desdemona, which I didn't know that was a thing. But maybe it's just the author making something up. But yeah, have this one too. Just realized how many plays we're reading. And then our last one is Pride and Prejudice, which, if you're an OG Kate stan over here, I have tried to read Pride and Prejudice 3 times now. I cannot get into it. I really just don't care at all. So now I have to be forced to read Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Not really looking forward to this. Again, I have tried to read this. Really didn't enjoy it any of the times that I read it. But gonna go into it with an open mind and try to enjoy myself. And based on this book, we have the 2 more interesting to me adaptations, which is funny because this is the one I'm least excited about. But the first one we have is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which is like a thing. Like, this is popular right now. And I think it's literally just Pride and Prejudice, but it includes all new scenes of bone-crunching zombie mayhem. So I think it's literally Pride and Prejudice just made a little bit more modern and throw in some zombies. Which, I guess that could be cool. I don't know. And the one that I know nothing about, but everyone else was really excited about, is Bridget Jones' Diary by Helen Fielding. He specifically said we're reading the book, not watching the movie. We're watching a lot of other movies, but he specifically said the book for this because he says he likes the book better. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie either. It's apparently really famous, but I haven't seen it, just like every other famous movie. But yeah, I know nothing about this, but everyone else is really excited about it when he announced this one. So yeah, those are my books that I'm reading for our Pride and Prejudice thing. Also, yeah, this does not include any theory that we're reading, except I have this textbook, which is Adaptation and Appropriation by Julie Sanders. This is the only, like, theory text I have physically. We have a ton of theory text that we have to read online, so don't think I'm only reading all of these books. It's also, like, a couple 100 pages of theory a week. They get you with that. But yeah, also, I have this, which I have already read quite a bit of, but, we're just using this throughout the semester in this class. So those are all of the books directly for my classes. Now I'm going to go into some just extra books that I did get for academia. So first up, I have dictionaries. I have a Spanish dictionary and a Korean dictionary because in my program you have to be fluent in 2 languages besides English, and we have to do fluency tests. We're allowed to have dictionaries at that fluency test if we buy our own. So I bought these. I bought this one because it seemed to be the only Spanish dictionary that wasn't pocket-sized, and I really cannot read pocket-sized books. It really hurts my astigmatism, so I bought this one because it's a nice floppy paperback. And then I bought this Korean Standard Dictionary by Jason Lee and Kanji Lee because it goes based on the Hangul rather than the romanization, which I appreciate because everyone romanizes things wicked differently depending on who you're talking to. So I appreciate that they just did it by Hangul. So yeah, dictionaries. Who buys dictionaries anymore? I do. And then I have a bunch of books for my thesis. So let's just get on into this. So I obviously am only in my first semester, so I don't know what I'm writing for my thesis. I have an idea, but I'm still experimenting. I'm still looking around. So the first thing that I got is Lord Byron's major works because I have a very good idea based on his Child Pilgrimage Canto the Third. Child Harold's Pilgrimage Canto the Third, sorry. So I wanted to have my own copy of this in case I do decide to use that, but at the moment my focus is Shakespeare, so I don't know if I will use this, but I definitely want to have it just in general. So I also love these Oxford editions of classics, so when I saw that this one had an Oxford edition, why not? And then I have some books that actually have to do with my current idea for my thesis. So I have Titus Andronicus by Shakespeare and also the Oxford edition. Again, just really like these. This is the play that I'm pretty sure I'm going to do my thesis or dissertation. It kind of depends. I think these might be more for a dissertation than my thesis. So who knows, maybe I'll get to use Byron. And then I have The Revengers Tragedy by, I'm pretty sure this is actually by like anonymous, but it says it's by Thomas Middleton and Cyril Turner. This is a play all about a morally corrupt universe, and my professor really recommended it based on my love of Titus Andronicus and said that it might be really good to read for my idea because I told him what my idea is and he recommended this. He also recommended American Psycho by Brent Easton Ellis. I want to see if anyone can figure out what my idea is just based on these 3 books. They seem pretty different. But yeah, American Psycho, never seen the film, but he told me to read the book and watch the film because it will help with my idea. My boyfriend actually read this book and he thinks that I'm going to hate it, but he thinks I might hate it because like I hate gore, which is wrong. So I don't really know. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy this or not. But I know the ending because my boyfriend told me about it one time, like completely separate from me buying this book. So I know the ending, but I think I'll enjoy it. Who knows? I'm just hoarding things right now for thesis dissertation stuff. But yeah, so those are all of the books that I have bought for academia this semester. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and definitely leave down below if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them. And anyways, I love you all and I'll see y'all soon. Bye!